friends, Learning at Ease with your teacher Andrew Jime as usual. Our Facebook page is Learning at Ease. Our YouTube channel is Learning at Ease. But you can easily access our YouTube by typing in your YouTube at HP Davies. You write at HP Davies. You can easily access us. Facebook name of Facebook we use Dagirira Andrew Jime. TikTok we use Andy. We have books on market, and I appreciate those that have bought them. Those that ask them online, they have been able to receive them. We have understanding geographical statistics. We have understanding map reading and interpretation. There is also understanding simple and survey. I always drop lessons on those social media platforms, and I appreciate those that follow us. This is a quick one. Someone asked me, or some students have been asking about drawing relationships from maps. For example, relationship between relief and settlement, relief and drainage, relief and transport, relief and human activities. So I'm here to answer, describing how do we describe the relationship between relief and the settlement quickly. First of all, you must understand what is relief and what is settlement. So by definition, relief is simply the nature of landscape or the appearance of landscape. Different areas have got different nature of landscape. Some areas are hilly, some areas are mountainous, some areas are lowlands, some areas are flat, some areas are gently sloping, some areas are steeply sloping. So some areas are plateaus, some areas are highlands. So first of all, you must understand the meaning of relief. Two, as a student or someone who is going to answer a question about relief and the settlement, you must know how relief is represented on the map. How is it depicted on the map? For all know that we use contours to represent relief. So different contours, the nature or appearance of different contours depict different features or landforms on the ground. So you must know, if I see compacted contours, what does it depict on the ground? If I see fast-spaced contours, if I see rounded contours, if I see, so you must first of all know how relief is represented on the map. Two, what is a settlement? What is a settlement? You must know what settlement means. If they talk about settlement, what do they mean? How is it depicted on the map? So settlement, it is simply a place with dwelling units, where people sleep, or where people dwell and do social, political, and economic activities. Two, how is it represented on the map? We all know that the topographical maps we use, especially in East Africa, settlement is shown or is represented by dots. Sometimes boxes. Boxes depict built-up areas like towns. Then dots depict households. So now, after knowing that settlement is shown using dots and boxes, and the relief is shown using contours, then you start to critically observe the behavior of contours such that you can get the general appearance of the land on the map. Look at the general appearance of the mapped area. Are the contours so compacted? Are they fast-spaced? Are the contours rounded? So look at the contours and get the general picture of the area. Is it hilly? Is it mountainous? Is it a valley? Is it a lowland? Is the area a basin? Is it a flat land? So after getting that, now start to observe, to compare. Look at the dots. Look at the behavior of the contours. It is a relief that determines settlement. Relief is independent variable. Settlement is a dependent variable. Settlement depends on the nature of relief. Relief does not change because settlement has changed. But settlement can change because relief has changed. For example, on the map, I'm just giving you hints of the points we are going to give here. Look at, you can say, I'm going to look at the slopes, the nature of the slope. We have steep slope, we have gentle slope, we have convex slopes, we have concave slopes. Now, let me take an example of a gentle slope. Look at the area shown on the map. Look at the behavior of the contours. Now, I want to pick out a slope, whether it is gentle or steep. Now, a gentle slope, I know that it is depicted by spaced contours, contours which are not so compacted. That is a gentle slope. Now, if I see that the contours have gaps, I just know that on the ground that area is gentle. Now, look at the dots in that. In most cases, you will find that on the map, areas with the spaced contours have many dots, implying that that area is suitable for human settlement. So you are going to tell us that gently sloped areas evidenced by fast spaced contours as seen here are densely settled due to the presence of many dots you are seeing there. So the point is going to be gently sloped areas as seen here, evidenced by spaced contours, are densely settled. Why? Because we have seen that the contours are spaced, and those spaced contours have many dots. We can look at areas, look on the map, areas where the contours are compacted. I don't know whether I have a map here which has that. Yeah, there is a map extract here. I have a map extract here of, I don't know if I can see it, of Mbeya. Now, when you look at the behaviors of contours here, when you look in the northern part of this, contours are so compacted. So this is a ridge or a mountain. Contours, you see, this is a mountain, Karue Mountain. Contours are so compacted. But now, when you look at the dots, some areas don't even have dots. Why? Because these are steep slopes. Why do people do not settle in steep slopes? One, there are high risks of mass wasting. Landslides can easily take place. People don't want those areas. Constructing is expensive, so the cost of construction is high. People have to grade the land, so they avoid such places. High rates of soil erosion. So soil erosion is too much there, so people are not there. But when you come down here, the central part, when you look at the contours are spaced, so I can see this contour. The next contour is here, so meaning there is a gap. So this area is not steeply sloping. So it is going to be having many settlements. So when you look at the dots here, they are very many, meaning that where contours are spaced, for example, this is a gentle slope here at it end. There is this contour here, there is this contour, so the gap is big. So you see, the dots are many. So if I use my point slope, I'm going to talk about areas with the steep slopes, how is the settlement? Areas with gentle slopes, how is the settlement? If I come down here, you may find that this is a plain. This area is a plain. It is a plain. So, or it is a flat land. So you are going to tell us that flatlands are densely settled. And this one is likely to be due to low cost of construction, due to low rates of erosion, due to deep soils, deep fertile soils, because soils settle here. So that's why they are densely settled. You can also talk about area being hilly or mountainous. So people always avoid mountainous areas, especially on tops of mountains. Why? Because they are very cold. So you can tell us that on tops of mountains, for example here, there is no settlement due to very cold conditions, due to risks of pests and diseases. Those places have a lot of pests and diseases, landslides, so people avoid such places. Another point you can talk about here, you can talk about relief being a depression. Look at a depression or a valley. If the area is a valley, what do we find in a valley? In most cases, in those valleys or lowlands, the soils are deep. The soils are fertile. Why? If those areas are drained by rivers, they carry soils or fertile soils from up to down. So those areas are always very fertile. So people settle there. So you look at the map. Different maps have got different relief and settlements. So it is going to depend on your map. But what I've said, first know how relief is depicted. Then know how settlement is represented on the map. Now, you must know how different relief is shown on the map. How is a hill shown on the map? How is a mountain shown on the map? How is a ridge shown on the map? How is a lowland shown on the map? How is a steep slope shown on the map? All of those are points that we are going to use to relate. How are gentle slopes are shown on the map? Now, look at settlement. Settlement is shown using dots. So now, if I first look at the relief, then look at the settlement, observe that if the contours are rounded, that means this is a hill. Now, let me look at the dots in this hill. If I don't see dots on the hill, then I'm going to say that hills are avoided by settlements, evidenced by the absence of settlements in this area where you are seeing that. If it is a mountain, look at the mountain. How is it? Are there settlements? So we can say the area is densely settled because of it being gently sloping. The area is sparsely settled because of it being steeply sloping. The area is densely settled because of it being flat. The area is steeply settled because of it being a lowland, a valley, implying it has fertile soils. So those are the hints of how we can answer a question about the relationship between the relief and the settlement. I remain teacher Andrew Jime, learning at ease. My WhatsApp number is +256 753 06 44 08. Follow us. Bye-bye.